Welcome to Pull a Pin Ready, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions about the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
Oh, I promise you wouldn't give them to you anyway.
I'm Jim.
I'm Nate. Let's pull the pin already.
I know why I laughed that time because I almost forgot what I was supposed to say. I was like, what the hell's our intro? Like I hadn't done this before.
You're concentrating too hard.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, whatever. Oh goodness. Well, anyways, welcome back, Nate. Anything going on? Anything exciting?
No, same old, same old. Living the dream. Living the dream.
Government's
Yeah,
just pushing along, huh?
still running.
Well, that's good. All right. Well, welcome to our War Room edition, which is all we really do anymore anyway. Hopefully, we'll expand. But if you guys don't send in the money, we can't keep doing this stuff for free. So, wait, did that sound right? If you don't send, anyways, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we're gonna do War Room where we pull some mainstream media, which I think there was somebody who commented. I don't know who it was. I don't think it was a normal person, but they said something about mainstream media. We put that in quotes. I think social media is still mainstream now, or it is mainstream. But when we refer to mainstream, it's obviously just people who write articles, right? It's not, could be anywhere. I guess, I don't know, go to X or whatever and get all your news if you want. Go to Facebook, get all your news if you want, but that's still media. Anyways, we're pulling the headlines and we're going to tell you what the story's about without reading the headline or without reading the article because we know you don't have time to read it either.
That would be social media, not mainstream media.
Well,
right?
Yeah, you'd think so, right? But what is social? Social's like social. So if you're getting news from there, I don't know if that would be social.
We pull these headlines from everywhere, and
Yeah, we pull them from the internets, the
World Wide Web.
The world of webs. We pull all this stuff from, and whether even the articles itself, whatever. If you want to read them, read them. But to me, a lot of stuff's just a waste of time and stuff. And you'll see as we talk about these headlines, So why don't we just do that? Or Nate, I forgot to tell you.
Well, just because we're average veterans, we've been around the world that we know everything. I know I messed you all up, but here we go.
Wow, look at this. I'm messing everything up. Congressman says there were at least 200 undercover agents embedded on January 6th.
What mainstream media did this come from? A left or right?
Well, it's got to be right,
media.
I guess. I mean, but
why don't they say which congressman?
And this and here lies the problem. And this is why we don't want you wasting time reading the article, right? Because as we discussed in previous episodes, what's the purpose of the headline, right? The headline supposed to draw people in, supposed to get people's attention. Now, this is like a fourth grader writing a headline. You know what I mean? Because like congressman, like you said, why can't you name the congressman? And number two, you're talking.
But that's what they don't. This is what they don't name it because they want to draw you into their clique, so you can read who the congressman was. That's why they get a click on their page.
Well, that might work for a bunch of stupid people, and I agree. There's probably a lot of stupid people out there, but me, I'm first thing I'm thinking when I see this is
a lot of stupid people. You pulled the headline and made it part of our show today. So
well, that's why, but that is why I did it because here I'm looking at this saying, okay, the congressman says. So the American people are divided, right? Those that support Democrats no matter what, whether they burn the world down or not, and then those that are skeptical of everything. You know what I mean? Like, so how are you reaching skeptics by saying a congressman said this?
Now you just put everybody in two categories. I believe there's more than two categories.
Well,
you got people that'll vote Republican no matter what. Also, so.
Listen, stop, Nate. We're allowed to put people in categories.
And then there's the middle category, people with common sense or want to have common sense and try and look at the whole picture and decide.
That doesn't exist, dude.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
That doesn't. Well, that's what everybody does anyway. They put everybody in categories. So regardless of whether you're a free thinker or not, the point I'm getting at is that this article tells me why bother reading it. It doesn't draw me in. Like, even if I figure out what congressman, who cares? Tell us where the facts are. Tell us where it comes from. In the headline, say
No,
document.
That's not the way headlines
revealed
work.
by Congressman so and so.
Well, then you won't get to click to read the article. That's not the way it works.
I don't know, dude. I don't know if that really does work anymore. You're talking to a society that's 5-second based, readers. I mean, that's why TikTok and that's why kids are so influenced by these stupid little short story stuff. And they're addicting. I get it. But nobody reads anymore. Only smart intellectual people who have nothing else to do with their life do.
I'm not smart or intellectual. That's why I don't read. So headline's good enough for me.
even if you were, you still have something else to do with your life. You know what I mean? It's not like you got time to sit and read. Like, you know, I know people who love to read, and I do believe in reading. So it's not like I'm bashing readers. It's just most people don't have time. So we need the short version. So get to the point. This headline right here, regardless of what it's about,
That got to the point.
talked about what it's about yet, right? It's not a surprise to me. This doesn't surprise to me. But the point is this proving what I already know does nothing for me by this headline. It's like clickbait. It just gets me excited. Oh wow, 200. I knew I was right. I knew I was right.
That's basically what all headlines are anymore is clickbait. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You
But
gotta
that's
get
what I
that.
said.
You gotta get that click.
The headline content doesn't surprise me. I mean, I know there were people up there. I know January 6th just from watching the released footage I told you about. I think in a previous episode, where the crowd was calm and then they started throwing smoke bombs and smoke grenades or whatever, hitting people, shooting them with paint guns, and they agitated the crowd. And like I said, if we were all hanging out watching a football game and police showed up and did that to us, we'd be pissed off too. It wouldn't even have to be a protest. So I believe it was a farce. I believe it was a setup. But this article does nothing to help prove it. Well, the headline. Let me be precise here. This headline
Yeah,
does nothing to convince me that I'm right
yeah,
from the look of it.
because you have no idea what the article says. So
You're right. But that's my point. Is like whoever wrote this article, make it worthy that I can just like, oh, I knew it. Now let me see what the details are. This tells me nothing.
gotcha.
Because think about it, even if the article goes on to say who the congressman is, where they got it from, you know what I mean? Like, why could you just tell me that?
Who will the undercover agents come from? What agency?
Right. And how do you know that? How do you know?
Yeah,
Like an independent study revealed, documents, something, there should be some proof
Vid-
laid on the line.
video surveillance, just like everybody else there.
Right. So, anyways, yeah. Anyway, no surprise. January 6th was a setup. We all know this.
Moving on.
Mm-hmm. Congress freezes Biden's $6 billion for Iran in 307 to 119 vote.
Will this be a bipartisan vote that Democrats didn't vote for it either?
Dude,
Because Democrats run Congress, right? Not the Senate, right?
no, Democrats have Senate.
Not well, Congress
Republicans
is
have Congress majority.
not by that much.
No, obviously there have to be
Yeah,
some Democrats in there.
yeah. So yeah, so
Which
that's a good bipartisan vote right there. Then
right, but still it leads you to believe like who are these 119 and why are they voting to release 6 billion for
well,
Iran?
like you said, there's going to be people that vote no matter what the way they are. So I'm going to assume those 119 are Democrats that vote
But
the way
see
Biden
this
says.
this is this is the problem with politics. This is the problem. And I guess it doesn't surprise me, right? Let's bring it into something more relevant. Let's bring it into
Your
football.
house. Oh,
Yeah, my house. Let's bring it into football, sports. I mean, you can bring it in my house, right? But look, you go to a game and your team loses, the first thing people want to do is blame the refs. Oh, it was a bad call. Oh, this, that, they don't want to just own it. And that just shows you right there they're not
yep.
objective thinkers. Now,
Yep.
don't
And
get me wrong, it could be refs.
I always say, don't put your football team in position to have the game decided by the ref.
Right, but I mean, so that's the point. The point is just because there was a pass interference on the last Hail Mary of the play, or wasn't a pass interference, you had to throw a Hail Mary.
Yeah,
Like
right. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
you
yeah.
put yourself there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
so at the end
but
of the day,
yeah,
what?
but I'm going to say,
But
yeah, but
but you understand, like, and I do understand there is some criticism for refs to be out there. I get that, and I do believe that sometimes you could swing momentum by a bad call.
yeah.
I get that, or it could be a series. So I get it, the criticism of bad refing, but the point I'm trying to get at is that's how people operate anyway. Their team, It's never
Exactly.
their team's fault. It's
That's
always
that
somebody else.
119 voted for their team.
Yes, and they continue to root for their team regardless.
Well, they got voted in for that reason to root for their team, so that's why they're still rooting for their team,
Right,
for their
right,
constituents. Did I say that word right?
right. Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
I beg to ask. Is that really what your constituents want? How many of these people are really in touch with their constituents? I mean, I asked my local
Minimal.
town. Asked my local town people here. I said, "How do you know what your constituents want?" Well, they voted for us.
That's the answer right there. That's it. They voted for me for
Yep.
my ideologies, and that's what I vote for wherever
Yeah.
else I got to vote. And
So they just wing it themselves and they do their own damn thing. And and the virtue signal stuff is so unbelievable. It's just horrible. I mean, even
it would
when
be
I
really cool.
believe in what they're doing.
They need to figure out a way to just get rid of Congress, get rid of Senate, and every American that's of voting age somehow, anytime something comes down, we go on and we vote.
Biometrics. We all have a cell phone. A
And
cell
you
phone
have,
has an ID. Your
and you
face
have,
has ID.
well, then they're going to say, well, no, because then they have those people that can't vote because of where they live, and now they don't have internet out there, and blah, blah,
Then you
blah,
put a
blah,
machine
blah,
in
blah,
that town, and people can walk up and look their eye. Their
They
retina
don't
can be
have a
scanned
ride. They don't
and
have a
press.
ride. They are handicapped. They
Then you
can't
make
get
a mobile
there.
one that can drive just like stupid unmanned cars. It can drive down the street when it's voting time, and
But
people
yeah,
can.
so let the American people vote for everything and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the way it should be anyway. I mean, well, not necessarily the mass mob. You know what I mean? You can't just do it that way, but there has to be, just because a whole majority of people believe something doesn't mean it's right. But they should be allowed to fail and embarrass themselves and learn from it.
I think they are right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of machines,
So, AI powered robot chemist could make oxygen needed for colonizing Mars.
all right. So this is a robot chemist, which is powered by AI. So it's a machine that has no degree, but is a chemist. Has never been in school, but is a chemist, right?
But it's got a
Uh-huh.
better job than you.
Probably does, but they don't get paid either.
Mhm. I don't know, man. They're probably putting it in somebody's bank account.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a lot of. I mean,
Well, so here's my question: how are we going to
since
get to Mars?
well,
Isn't the moon closer?
when we got to the moon, it's got to fly.
Isn't the moon closer?
Oh, sure. I don't know.
So how are we going to colonize Mars if we can't get back to the moon?
We can get so we can't get back. A couple episodes, it was they can beat us back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Right.
I've sent you text messages of videos proving we've been to the moon. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, of course.
I
Right.
don't know how you don't believe my text messages.
Right. Right. The actual picture of the cameraman taking picture of the first step of the moon. I remember that one.
Yeah, the cameraman's on the moon first and taking pictures of the first man on the moon. How the hell does
Right.
that work?
Wouldn't you be pissed off, man, if you were that cameraman? Be like, I actually hit the moon first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
But anyways, if they get enough oxygen on Mars, would you move there?
Would I? Sure.
Wonder how long it'll take to get there by
Sure. I'd get away from all these
space
morons.
by
Well, the problem is how
spacecraft.
long before they corrupt the moon. You know what I mean? That's the problem.
Corrupt the moon or corrupt Mars?
Mars, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Whatever, wherever the hell we go. Hell, the spaceship on the way there is probably all
probably.
politicized. Nope, you got to sit over there. Yep, no, you're not. You don't make enough money. You got to sit here. So yeah, I'd go. I talked to my son about that. You know, I was like, dude, if you ever get the opportunity to go to another planet, go. Just go.
You go to another planet.
I'm like, just go. Yeah, like whatever, man. It's sad too because like I don't want to say I don't have any faith in humanity anymore. But I mean, I've said this before. Stupid people are breeding faster. There's no doubt in my mind. And I'm not saying that it sucks to be stupid, but even when you're stupid, just know your lane. Like I even look at it like this way. Like I'm not even really an educated voter on most elections. You know what I mean? I'm not really an educated voter on most elections. I did this last local election. I did a lot of research, or not a lot, but you know what I mean. I did more research than
Enough.
most
Yeah.
people do.
Did your people
And
win?
most of them, yeah,
Yeah.
most of them. But I'm sitting there thinking, like, if this is what it takes for me to know who I'm voting for, what are the rest of the people doing? They're really not. They're not doing anything. They're looking at the D. They're looking at the R. You know what I mean? That's all they're doing.
Yep.
Like, I don't really know if those people should vote. I really think you should pass a test or at least something to vote. I
I
just
think
believe it.
you should the same thing to have kids too.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, it's hard to control, right? It's hard to control. And I don't know if there's really a test you could pass for parenting, right?
Well, you gotta make sure you have enough to support your child, that you
Well,
don't need to
you're
depend on the
making an argument
system
for
and blah blah
abortion,
blah.
and you're
No, no,
making an
no, no, no.
argument for abortion here,
I'm
and
not
I
making an
don't.
argument for abortion. I'm making an argument. Like you said, you can't control it, but if you could control it, I'm making an argument for people that shouldn't have kids, don't need to have kids.
Well, but that
That's
goes
all.
for anyone, right? You can have no kids, be filthy rich, and in tons of debt, right? Even with your filthy rich, you can still, be gambling debts and all that stuff that you're not paying. And I mean, there's still irresponsible people. So at the end of the day, yeah, I get it. That's hard to control. Now when you bring in other people's lives, yeah, there should be some sense of responsibility before you have kids. But there's the argument because I would know that. I would know that, hey, I'm not responsible enough to have kids. I don't think I'm in a position where I'm comfortable to support them. So I better not go put my penis in this vagina, which usually results in having kids. But people, oh no, I
Are,
got to because,
are there
got to
only
get
two,
that.
are there only two sex organs?
Well, two that really make
All right,
kids.
we're gonna move on.
These movies identify as vaginas. But, anyways, all right, you might have to help me with this one because I don't even know how to say this guy's name.
Soshi Hante,
Shoshi Ahante, free agent contract could reach
Tani,
600 million.
Hotani. Sorry.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah, he's a pitcher. He's a pitcher and a hitter for the Los Angeles Angels right now.
So I
You know who
mean,
do you know who he is? Actually, he's injured right now too. So
I don't
I
really
don't know
care who he
who's
is,
fighting for him.
but I put this in on purpose because I know you like sports, so I know you wouldn't mind talking about this. But I'm more concerned about the broader societal aspect of this. Why would you pay any one person $600 million to play a game?
Because you can
And that,
afford him,
well,
and he'll bring fans to the stands
but you say that, right? And we've
and
had
raise
this
your income.
conversation, right? We've had this conversation. If you, as an owner, could afford to pay $600 million to one player, you are charging way too much for your tickets and concessions.
Well, that's over years. That's not over 1 year though. That's over a couple of
Dude,
years.
so what?
And
200 million a year?
that's why they pay this guy this much to bring all those fans into the stadium so they can make that money. And that's
No, no,
exactly
no. But
why. That's
look,
exactly
you're like
why.
a dog chasing his tail here.
No,
Yeah, we're gonna pay him more, so now we got to bring in more money, so we can charge more money, so we get more money to pay him more.
I'm not saying they're charging more money. I'm saying they're going to bring
They
more
are.
fans in.
That's my point. My point is, if you can pay a guy $600 million, you can let people come in and watch the games for free because you got way more money than you should.
No, because those people coming in are paying
I
his
know they're
salary.
paying because you got 600 million to pay somebody. If you didn't pay this guy, if you paid this guy 100 million, you could pay for everybody's tickets.
Then he won't be there as long, and the fans won't come as much.
God, there's too much money here. There's just way too much money. These are freaking athletes.
Sounds like
It,
someone's opinion,
it is my opinion.
not
That's
a
what I'm here for.
fact.
That's what I'm here for. My opinion. And my opinion is you got the money to pay 600 million people, but these and look, let's be real. Let's do it. Let's bring it to football. Let's look at all this virtue signaling crap, right? They still got it in the fields. I saw it in a football game. Stop racism. You're doing all this virtue signaling crap, but yet you're spending out millions of dollars on players.
And a lot of this money probably comes from advertisers too.
Doesn't matter where it comes from.
Because if they bring this guy in, we're going to pay you $100 million to advertise our product.
Okay, but the point is, it's still too much money, dude. It doesn't even have to be sports. Look at some of these billionaires. Like, look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk takes a salary, which isn't high, and he puts his money back into investments. He's investing in people and things. He's literally could literally be going bankrupt because of these greedy advertisers, right? But he is putting money into it for people, for a reason, for a cause.
And on his platform, they're still advertising, so
for now,
which he's making money off of.
But you're missing my point. It's going back to the people and the company and the society.
Do you think
it's not going to a bunch of executives that just go home and sit in their mansions?
What's it going back to?
What do you mean? He's going to space, dude. He's done more for space travel than the government has done.
So that's his own company, so he's making his own money on that.
And he's making it possible for all of us to go to space, like we just talked about.
Yeah, he's making it possible for you to pay him for him to take you to space. So you're still paying him.
Well,
he's still you ain't making no money on him, like you're trying to say. Nothing. He ain't putting it back in the economy. He's making you, charging you.
He's putting it back into society. Well, even if he's not, even if you think he's not.
Well, that dude, the baseball pitcher's gotta buy a new car, which is going back.
I'm not worried about the pitcher.
He's got to buy. Dude,
I'm a capitalist. I'm a capitalist. I'm not worried about the pitcher. I'm not saying the pitcher shouldn't take $600 million. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying if you own a team and you got the money to pay a pitcher, Not like basketball where he plays all game, not like, hockey where he's on the ice the whole time or whatever. A pitcher, $600
Hockey.
million.
Hockey's on the ice for like 30 to 60 seconds, and then
Not the
they're
goalie,
off.
dude. The goalie plays
Oh,
the whole game.
the goalie does it.
See, now listen, yeah. But you get what I'm saying is like a
But that's
pitcher,
just the pitcher. You don't know what the rest of the team's getting paid. The rest of the team could be getting paid more, but they're not. But
right?
but that's how
my
good this
point.
guy is. That's how good this guy is.
I don't know, dude. I get it.
And actually, you know what? He does play every game because he's a hitter too. So he is in there every game, and he hits lots of home runs.
I believe in capitalism, and I'm all for it. I get it.
So
I don't care if he's the greatest guy in the world. $600 million.
Even though he's a pitcher, he's still hitting every game. So
you see this, and this is where you fit in with the same thing. It's $600 million. It's a lot of money, dude. It's too much money. If you
I'm
can
not
pay
arguing
somebody that much money, then you need to be cutting the fans a break. Tell the guy to take a pay cut, and we're going to let fans in for half the price. And guess what? People will show up.
Well, if the fans don't want to pay the price, then guess what? They have to lower their salary. So
exactly. Now you're getting it.
If the fans want to go and watch, it's on the fans.
Now you're getting it. So it's just like we talk about money going to overseas, right? We talk about money. We talk about all this money goes overseas. If we take that money from those other people and we put it into our economy, like our healthcare and all that, then our people will be doing better. So if we take the money out of sports and we put it into the community, then people will be doing better. That's my point.
Good point.
And that is all the time we have for this episode because we've got to go find our 600 million. I'm sure it's in the inbox somewhere. Thanks again, Nate, for joining us. Thank you all for liking, sharing, subscribing, tuning in, and doing all that other stuff. And until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin ready. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.